Welcome to this explainer, everyone. So today we're going to be diving into this really profound gap that's just kind of hiding in plain sight. I'm talking about the massive divide between our repetitive, everyday routines and our actual long-term passions. We're basing this explainer on the concept of nurturing the passion beyond the immediate. And, the whole goal here is to take a massive step back from that daily grind. We want to figure out how to stop just barely surviving our schedules and start really nurturing those deep, long-term ambitions that actually matter to us.
Let's just imagine for a second that you bump into an old friend on the street, right? And they ask you a super simple question. Hey, what is your plan? Now think about it. How do you usually answer that? Well, if you're like, pretty much everyone else, you probably just default to listing out your immediate plans. Things like, oh, I've got back-to-back meetings tomorrow, or just running errands this weekend, maybe carting the kids to their activities. It's totally our default setting, mainly because that immediate horizon is just right there in front of our faces, constantly demanding our attention. And look, don't get me wrong here. Those immediate plans, the errands, the family activities, the whole shebang, they are absolutely necessary. Finding joy in the day-to-day is a beautiful thing. But if you really look at it, notice what's completely missing from that everyday conversation. Yep, our long-term dreams. We literally almost never talk about our inner desires or that side project we're super passionate about or the stuff that brings us profound meaning. We just kind of completely skip over the very things that make us feel the most alive. So why exactly do we do that?
Well, honestly, it's because we are totally stuck in the busy trap. Think about it. We're taking care of loved ones. We're putting out fires at work. We're rushing to life events. We're trying to squeeze in some social fun. And yes, fulfilling all those duties absolutely brings us stability, and it brings us joy, for sure. But this constant rapid-fire stream of obligations, it just keeps us completely buried in the present moment. It's like we are moving way too fast to even look up and see the horizon ahead of us.
And when we are just completely buried in that daily grind like that, something else starts to happen. We actually begin to wrap our entire identity up in these standard, everyday labels. We call ourselves manager or husband, maybe daughter or brother. We take all these titles that are basically just handed to us by society or our jobs, and we wear them like they are the absolute entirety of our existence. We become so incredibly defined by our utility to other people that we just completely forget to look underneath it all.
So let's just try stripping away those titles for a minute. If you remove your job title, if you take away those specific family roles, who are you without them? It's a really uncomfortable question, isn't it? But to actually pierce through that daily complacency we all get stuck in, we kind of have to find an answer to it.
The source material we're looking at today really pushes us to ask a tough question. What do you love to do, and how does it matter to you and to others? I mean, this isn't just about ticking off boxes on a to-do list. This is really about figuring out your unique footprint in the world. It's asking, what kind of personal progress are you actually making? When you aren't just serving a specific function for someone else, how are you actively developing your true, core self?
Which brings us to this really critical crossroads. Basically, on one hand, we've got the daily grind. That's just surviving on those immediate plans, instant desires, checking tasks off a list. But then on the other hand, we have the core self. This is all about investing in your personal progress, lifelong learning, and actually developing yourself. And here is the hard truth. If you spend literally 100% of your time just grinding, you're merely surviving. To find true fulfillment, we absolutely have to consciously shift our energy. We have to carve out the space for that core self to actually grow. So how do we actually do that in real life? Well, it starts with some actionable mental habits. First off, you've got to start talking to yourself about your ultimate purpose, and you need to do it way more often than you talk about your weekend plans. Seriously. Second, you have to actively water those inner desires. Protect them, nurture them like a garden. And finally, you've got to stop hiding behind small talk. Get out there and share your long-term vision proudly with the people around you.
There's this specific phrase from the text that really stood out to me, and it's this: water your inner desire to be significant. And I think this is totally the key to the whole thing. Nurturing your passion doesn't mean you have to just abandon your daily life or drop all your responsibilities, right? It just means giving your long-term dreams the actual hydration and the sunlight they need to thrive right alongside those daily duties. At the end of the day, we have to be proud of the people we are becoming, not just the random tasks we manage to complete on a Tuesday. So as we wrap up this explainer today, I want to challenge you. Take a massive step back from those immediate weekend plans. Step back from the job titles and the labels, and just honestly ask yourself, who do you really want to be?